Hey guys, hope you're all having an awesome day. All right, so we haven't done a check-in in a little bit, so definitely gonna pull some cards and give you guys some messages. Another shift started again a few days ago. We kind of keep going through random different shifts, not random, but different shifts that seem to be random, but they actually all go together. You just haven't seen the full picture. So a lot of people are going through different transitions every few days. I noticed like kind of yesterday and today, there's been a lot of emotions that are coming up, a lot of anger, a lot of irritability, a lot of guilt energy. So some of you guys I'm getting like from spirit are having almost surrogate people come in that you're able to be triggered to feel certain emotions or feelings that have to do with past energy to help you with like clearing it and healing it. If you've been feeling kind of disconnected from yourself lately, I know on and off I have for the last few months, but if you're feeling like, especially lately, it's been kind of pretty strong with the disconnection, or people's energy feel a little different to you, or like it feels familiar, but you can't quite figure out why or where or what's going on. Some of you guys are doing past life clearing, and they're saying past life regression. So that might be why some of it's a little bit up and down. What Spirit's saying is only trust what your intuition is saying. Like, don't pay attention to everything you see in front of your face. There's a lot of illusions. Some of you guys are working on deep levels of building trust within yourself and your intuition. So if you're feeling one way about a certain person, thing, whatever it is, and like everything outside of you looks different than that, trust your intuition. But with that being said, it doesn't necessarily mean it's going to happen just because you're feeling it now within the time frame you want it to happen, or the time frame you think it should happen. Sometimes it's spirit saying, hey, by the way, this is coming for you, and they're letting you know in advance. So this way you, one, can kind of feel into the energy, but two, for you to trust your inner knowing versus kind of all the conditioning we've learned of, well, if it, looks like a duck and quacks like a duck, it's a duck, but sometimes a duck's really good at disguising himself and it's something else, So kind of like that. That is not for everybody. That's only if you're getting intuitive messages or intuitive guidance, spiritual messages, spiritual downloads, spiritual guidance that's saying one thing, but something's looking outside of that. That's not to say if somebody's abusing you, they're going to stop abusing you. If you're in an abusive situation or a manipulative situation or a bad relationship or shit like that, I am definitely not talking to you like at all. Those type of situations, like if it's not for your highest good, you're going to know it's not for your highest good. You're going to feel very drained, very depressed, very tired, very resistant to it. And it's just not going to be in energetic alignment. So we're not talking about that type of situation. Talking about for people who have been getting messages or dreams or downloads or visions or spirits just like with stuff. A lot of you guys are going through like energy releasing, and they're kind of showing me like it almost just like being pulled from your body. Definitely a lot of physical symptoms have been coming up for like the last month, almost daily, almost like all day, if we're going to be honest, but definitely almost daily. So if you're feeling a lot of that, and this is not medical advice, and if it's not a medical thing and it's kind of shifting and stuff like that, you can usually tell what area you're clearing. Some of you are just releasing like repressed emotions and feelings. Some of you are doing collective energy, and you're transmuting people's energy and helping put it back into earth, whatever word you want to use, back into the energetic vibration to help kind of bring stuff down. So sometimes when you're going through stuff, people are doing that for you, and then vice versa for like light workers and healers and stuff. That message obviously is not going to be for everybody, but if you feel physical energy, energy sensitive people, I like to call it, you'll know what I'm talking about. When there are certain electromagnetic frequencies, like if you follow the Schumann resonance, or you follow kind of solar storms and like the flares and all that stuff that comes in, some of us are really energy sensitive to it, so we physically can feel stuff. But that's part of our gift, even though it doesn't always feel like a gift. It's going to balance out though. Like I got that message from spirit because it's been really intense the last month, and normally you get kind of breaks and reprieve, and it hasn't really been breaks. But it's going to like definitely mellow out and like kind of calm down in the next few weeks. So there's that. A lot of the lower chakras are being worked on right now. Definitely they're saying like for most of you, like root chakra is pretty good. Like Root chakra has been pretty balanced and stable. You have like a little bit of instability that kind of comes in because it feels like the last week or so there's been triggers coming in to kind of rock some old shit up, to bring up old energy, or for you to handle situations in a different way, or for you to see how you handle situations now, so when certain things come into alignment, you know how to handle it different. I know for me, I'll give you guys an example. I had somebody who came on my Facebook Crystal page. Oop, I was screaming, it sounds like now, because the air went off. I was closed for the weekend because I went to Orlando for my kid's birthday, and I forgot to put a note on the door. I posted on like my Facebook page. This was a Facebook message, not somebody on Instagram. I posted on my business page like a week beforehand. By the way, I'm closed this weekend. A few days beforehand, but I'm closed this weekend. On my Facebook page, I'm closed this weekend. Forgot to put a note on the door. My friend ended up doing it for me, but forgot to put a note on the door because I'm a fucking human and I forget shit. And this lady literally bitched me out on Facebook, like actually bitched me out. What kind of fucking business am I running? And I apologized and explained what happened and started kind of going off on me and then telling me that the lady next door said I'm always late and how to run a business like this and all kinds of shit. And I apologized, obviously, and explained it. And then afterward, I was like going back into this, like, not people pleasing, it's like fawning is what it is, where it's like you feel guilty or you feel bad for doing something or whatever. Definitely triggered some dad shit, obviously. And then, yeah. And I was like, okay, normally I'm going to keep excessively apologizing, all this stuff. I go, let me take a second, because I was so fucking upset. I was like, let me take a second. I was like, she's literally trying to pick a fight with you. You already explained yourself. You can't change the past. There's nothing you can do about it. You acknowledged your mistake. It's also not a huge fucking deal either. And I was like, okay. And I actually asked the friend, I was like, hey, because they have a business. I'm like, what would you do in this situation? Because I'm really not even sure how to handle this. I don't normally deal with aggressive ass people like this coming at me. And they gave me advice and I listened. But yeah, I realized I definitely go into like this energy of that. And I was like, okay, I need to kind of step out. And I'm like, I'm so upset right now. And I could feel it like stewing in my body. And I was like, I need to calm down. Like, I'm literally going on vacation, like to take my kids, you know, to like whatever. And I was like, I need to like just like zen out. Like, there had already been so much shit coming up. And so, yeah, that came up. And then there's just been a bunch of other like drama and all kinds of fucking chaos and mess. So it's like a lot of that's coming up for a lot of people, especially family dynamics and situations like that, to regain your power, to help you see like old conditioning and old responses. So this way in the future, you know how to handle those. So it's not like a test. It's more so like preparation is what I'm getting from spirit for the future. If certain things happen, or like if you're in situations, you'll know like what your energy feels like, or the situation, so you're aware of it, so you can like not deal with it or handle it a different way. So a lot of that's been coming up for people, but guilt and shame have been coming up a lot. And so some of you guys might be having sacral chakra energies. Again, not medical advice. Sacral chakra energies being like highlighted, or certain things like that. A lot of sexual energy has been coming up too randomly. Definitely a lot of solar plexus has been going on, digestive stuff, all that. I know today there's a lot of like anxiety energy just kind of sitting right in here. But nothing's really wrong. So you might just be feeling random anxiety. If you're feeling it and there's nothing wrong, try to take some deep breaths and just acknowledge like this is not mine, and like you're okay and stuff like that, because that's definitely been a lot. Definitely spirit saying heart-centered leading. So things that have been coming up too is to help you fall in your heart rather than your ego and your conditioning. So a lot of old shit's coming back up to trigger, to kind of help you see something different or something from the past. I don't know why I just got like all this like when they said that, they kind of shut down real quick, but it almost felt like this like little kid who's really excited, like something's good's about to happen energy, and then they just kind of shut me real quick. So for some of you guys, I'm guessing some good shit is in store for you. Some of you guys might be getting that too, like you were getting certain guidance or messages and this excitement, but something kind of stopped, or like there's a standstill or something like that. Is not that that's not coming for you. It's like, here's excitement. Here's kind of what you're working toward. And now we're releasing blockages and things that kind of stand in that way, and we're preparing you. So a lot of you are in the releasing blockages and or both possibly the preparation phase, like releasing it, but also changing your mindset to allow certain things to shift and change within yourself and like the way you handle stuff, to allow what you want in. So I definitely get a lot of you by June, your big ass manifestation you've been wanting for like a few years is coming for you. So if you've been waiting for some stuff and you've been spiritually guided to it and it's whatever, a lot of you, it's like happening May or June is what I'm getting. So that's kind of badass. Don't hold on to time frames though. Like try to trust and surrender. That's been a huge ass thing for people lately. Is trusting and surrendering to the process and allowing like the divine to kind of handle stuff, stop trying to control stuff so much, like really just kind of getting this chill ass energy and like, yeah, find happiness within yourself. Ooh, I like it. I already like the, damn, we got some freaking major arcanas right here. Holy shoot. Damn. All right. 9 cards, and we got 5 major arcanas. I'm not even sick or choking on anything. Ooh. I love this. Right on the bottom, we got Ace of Ariel, the Magician, and Divine Guidance. All right. Yeah. This definitely feels like some masculine, feminine energy, and I'm digging it. It feels like the feminine, this is not always what it means. I always say that. I always say that. I know I kind of repeat myself a lot of times, but I know other people watch other readers and people who don't know me personally. Like when I channel messages. So half the time the cards like that I present aren't what they, like what Spirit's telling me isn't always what they actually mean because I'm channeling them. So if you watch another reader, you might get totally different messages for the cards. So that's why I always kind of say that. And I feel like I just needed to explain that for some reason. But yeah, it feels like very feminine, masculine energy. They're both ones. They're both new beginnings card. The feminine feels like she's about to come into some money, honey, or she's about to come into some type of creativity, some type of passion, very childish excitement energy. Feels like she's really coming into her energy and her femininity and like just, yeah, like really good shit. It feels like definitely in the next 2 or 3 weeks, like there's going to be a shift where shit kind of calms down because it feels like she's a little bit chaotic right now, energy wise or emotion wise, or everything's kind of like roller coastery, like up and down where she's like, I don't even know what the fuck I feel, why I'm feeling like this, what the fuck's going on, like on and off sleep issues, on and off energy shit, on and off like, I feel like this, but no, but I feel like this, but I don't, and all this shit. So it feels like in the next few weeks, it's calming down and like, she's going to have a lot of clarity. I'm getting like, it's going to like open up so much clarity on all this stuff and like why everything's been going on for like some of you cycles of years. And it's just going to be like, just this good ass energy and something's opening up. Some type of abundance is opening up. Like it could be a job, it could be a business opportunity, it could be just an emotional experience, it could be like a volunteer position or something like you do on the side that's like a creative passion where you're making money with it, or you're just like feeling the sense of fulfillment more than anything. But a lot of you, it's either going to be like a financial money type of situation, or it's going to be like a creative endeavor where you're going to be doing something that gives you emotional fulfillment. Either way, it feels emotionally fulfilling, but some of you it's financial more so, some of you it's emotional fulfillment. The masculine, ooh, I am loving this ass energy. I've not felt the masculine energies like this in a while. I love this, successful beginnings. The masculines feel like they're up to some mysterious shit, but in a really good way. Like that little kid ass energy, but they feel not so, they're mostly grounded, but they're still, it almost feels like emotional shit coming up. I'm getting fears are coming up, illusions are coming up for them. Spirit is like, we are guiding this, like, don't worry about this shit. If things seem a little weird right now, let it balance. Things are coming. Definitely feels like they're balancing their chakras. Their solar plexus feels way like over right now, like way too open. Their heart feels a little too closed. Their throat chakra is kind of balancing. It's like a little bit in the middle. Crown chakra is a little overactive for them. Sacral chakra is definitely, but the root chakra feels pretty grounded. It feels pretty good. They definitely are planning something. I'm not sure. Spirit's not really totally giving me the answer on this. I don't know why I just saw a parrot in my head too. So if you see parrots or if you're going to start seeing parrots after this, that's definitely a message for you. And it's definitely whatever your intuition tells you when you see the parrot, definitely for you. If it feels like it aligns with you though, and it makes sense to you, then take it. You don't necessarily have to see a parrot. It more so feels like somebody who is going to see a parrot do, it's like a red rainbowy looking parrot is all I can, like, that's all they showed me. But yeah, definitely there is something in the works. Don't hold on to times. Don't try to figure it out. Like, you're not going to know what it is. Like, just look at the card and feel into the energy. Like, if it's for you, you'll know it. Okay. We got six of, that feels like totally different energy than whatever this is. So we got six of Raphael, the Sun, the Emperor, and Justice. Okay, we're doing this first, and then I guess we're doing the bottom. So the six of Raphael, I'm actually getting almost like a bunch of like old sludgy energy, like negative energy, conditioning, fears, illusions, bullshit. A lot of father and mother healing is taking place right now. And it's going to bring you this like clean slate energy. It's going to bring you back to like when you first understood what love was. And first, you know how kids are? They like just love people. They don't give a fuck. I don't mean teenagers. I mean kids. Like, they don't give a fuck. They just like love. They don't see all the bullshit crap we see. Like, they just see love. They just love people. And they trust people. And like, you know, before all this crap happens, it's like you're going to kind of come to this energetic state internally. Like, what I'm getting from Spirit is like this energetic vibration. So it's not necessarily a mental thing. It's more so internally. And it's going to bring you some type of happiness, some type of wish fulfillment. It's going to change. A lot of you, it feels like you're going from this pessimistic doom and gloom perspective on certain situations. Some of you, it's kind of full. Some of you, it's more like your personality type. Some of you, it's, you know, more so like situational, but it feels like almost like this shift over to like optimism, excitement, like seeing the magic in life, like just wanting to have fun, just like wanting to put yourself out there, wanting to have fun, not wanting to be so serious, just like letting loose, like just like a little kid, just like letting loose and just kind of having fun and like living life and actually living, not surviving, living. Yeah, it feels like this is going to come in for you guys. Like, you're not in this energy. A lot of this feels future-ish. Like the next few weeks, some of you probably a few months, but not like too far out. It feels like within the next 2 months. So some of you it's a few weeks, some of you it's a few, like maybe 2 months-ish, but not maybe like April, May-ish for most people before that. So yeah, I love it. Okay, we got the Emperor and Justice. I'm getting Divine Masculine with this one. Strong as fuck. There is some type of balance coming for the masculine energy, which is going to physically and emotionally affect the feminine energy in a good way. You could be in a relationship with this person that I'm talking about. You could not be in a relationship with this person. It could be something like platonic or friends. Some of you, it's going to be a new relationship. I'm saying this like the feminine is watching, but, you know, either or. Take it, you know, as it resonates. It feels like somehow like the divine masculine and the divine feminine are in like some type of energetic cycle together, whether you know them or not. Irrelevant. You'll know who it is when you're supposed to know who it is. But, or most of you, I feel like from Spirit, most of you, it's like we're already in a relationship or a rekindling. You already know who they are. Most of you, I'd say like 97%, like around there. Most of you guys know exactly who I'm talking about, and you're like, I already know who she's talking about. Okay. The masculine's getting into, I just keep seeing this like little charming chipper guy. The masculine is getting into this internal strength and empowerment, like, and they're not going to tell you. It feels like they're not going to tell you. They're just going to start making small changes where your radar's kind of up, where the feminine's like, all right, what's this about? Like, something's up, and they're going to feel like a shift, but they're not going to quite understand it for a reason. They're bringing balance to themselves, which is somehow going to bring balance to the feminine. It feels like these are divine counterparts that kind of mirror each other's energy. So when one is in balance, the other's kind of, it goes like this and it shifts. So sometimes it's like one doing the physical and one doing the emotional, and then it kind of balances out. But it feels like whatever this situation is, the next 2 or 3 months, it's balancing, where it's like there's not going to be all these illusions. There's not going to be all this behind the scenes energy shit. It's going to be very in your face. You're going to understand it all. You're going to know what it is. It doesn't feel bad, but you're going to see it in the 3D, in the physical. Like, you're not going to just be dealing with all this, I have to trust my intuition, emotional stuff. Soul shit is going to take place like in the human, like they're showing me Archangel Ariel card, which is in the present, like in the 3D, the physical, like it's not just energy and emotions. So a lot of you have been doing like the emotional dancing. It's going to balance out, and it feels like some type of karma or some type of negative energy with the masculine. It might be the feminine too, is gonna kind of just like be gone. Like it's somehow spirits like helping empower this person for this other shit to just go away. Like they just showed me basically like, I love it. It's like a cloud of smoke, like this black smoke, and it just goes, and it disperses. So I'm loving this. Love this reading. Okay. In the middle. Okay. They're having me do this at the top. Chariot. Love this. I keep getting balance. Balancing the shadows, balancing the light dark, balancing the human, and the soul, balancing like the ego and the not like, and the like balancing of just so much shit. And it feels like shit has been so chaotic and imbalanced, but like Spirit's saying like, we are bringing balance. That's why it's been so up and down and chaotic. So we have the 4 of Gabriel and 4 of Ariel. Oh, I just noticed it's like 44. Some of you guys might be seeing 44 a lot if this message is for you. Actually, I've been seeing it like nonstop, 44 and 77. But something new is coming. This definitely feels like future energy. Something new is coming. Something that's going to be very exciting for you. Something you've been trying to manifest is what I'm getting from Spirit. Something you guys have been trying to manifest, some type of change in your relationship or a rekindling or a new relationship for some of you guys. Some of you, it's just this feeling of internal love and peace. With the 4 of Ariel though, it feels like whenever this actually happens or comes in, or you're working toward this now, don't be in your ego, don't be defensive, don't be guarded, allow it to come in. You'll trust it because it's going to feel different. So pay attention to your energy, pay attention, because it feels like some type of shift almost. Like, so if it's a relationship, like if you're in a relationship and there's maybe been an imbalance or problems, and I do not mean abusive, toxic relationships. So I'm going to just say that right now. Like, I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about like divine relationships where maybe there's trouble and there's problems, but it's not actually toxic and bullshit. There's going to be not manipulation, none of that crap. Okay. Like whoever needs me to like explain that, not that shit. It's almost like, it feels more so like one or more of you is not going to trust it because shit was different for so long, or you trusted it before and then didn't happen or something like that. There's definitely some type of trust you guys are going to be working on. You don't need to be defensive or guarded. Feel into your intuition. Feel, does this feel different? Does this seem different? Am I holding on to the old, or am I allowing this to reform? If you're not totally feeling safe and comfortable, have a conversation. If it's with another person, have a conversation with them. How can we build this safety and trust? How can we build this? And I just saw 44. How can we build this balance? What can we do to make this work? Again, not toxic bullshit. Not toxic. Okay. I just get like, there's going to be a lot of balance, but some of you guys, some of you, it feels though like you're in current energy, working through the ego, working through the control, working through some of that defense mechanisms and ego and walls and stuff right now before this comes in. But some of you, it feels like when it comes in, you're going to be scared and you're going to kind of want to run and be a little bit guarded. But everything you're releasing now and you're learning now is actually helping you with this to bring balance. So, okay. Then they're having me do this weird. We got 6 of Gabriel and the Wheel. There is definitely some shifts with the masculine. This is all I know. I keep getting a lot of masculine energy. You might not be seeing it in the physical right now, but a lot of them are doing energy work. And so some of their behaviors are going to slowly trickle in, and where you're going to kind of be like something feels a little different. Something's a little weird, but like, just trust your intuition, okay? It's not weird in a bad way. Just trust your intuition. Maybe it's a little different, like the way they're acting or seeming or their energy feels or something like that. But I'm definitely getting there's going to be some type of communication. They're definitely going to start opening up and having conversations with you about certain things. Just let them go through what they need to go through. If they're a little bit distant right now, honor that they need their distance and their space. Just like when you need your space and your distance from people, just honor that. Like, there's nothing wrong with that. Sometimes people just need space, and like if it's meant to come back together, it will. So whoever needed that. but something's definitely shifting. And the bottom of this is a change in direction that offers happiness, new beginnings, and delays. So, yay. I like it. It's nice to like get like some good positive energy of good shit. All right, let's see. This one I really wanted to pull from for some reason. I don't know what that is. It just flew out. Inner child. Interesting, because the Six of Raphael, which was the first card that came out, like that I laid down, is literally almost the same energy. It's like inner child healing, childhood stuff, etc. These two. All right, this feels a little bit heavier. We got Phoenix rising under that. We got family and tribe, and we have courage. Definitely feels like the feminines are going through some deep father wounds right now, and or a brother, if you have a brother, and or brother. The masculines are definitely healing some mother and or sister wounds. They're definitely in it currently. It feels very current. And they're working their way out of this. It feels almost like some karmic energy is going to try to come and fuck it up, or another person's going to try to fuck it up. This doesn't necessarily mean for just the masculine, but it feels like the masculines may be dealing with like a feminine energy. So it could be a girlfriend, a situation like that. It could also be like a friend who's like that. It could be even like a parental figure, but I'm mostly getting it's not. I'm mostly getting it's like a woman that's trying to almost like a manipulative like kind of energy that's trying to kind of like control, whereas he's standing in his power more. He's seeing things more clearly and he's trying to move past, and it definitely feels like she's trying to hold on for dear life. That can also be reversed to the masculine, like the feminine and a masculine doing that. But from this, I'm more so getting it's like the masculines are dealing with this with a feminine energy. And it feels like it's actually helping them heal some family stuff. Yeah, that's pretty much what I get from that. Okay, we got inner child, hole in the soul, unleash your creativity. How teachable are you, home and selling out? This definitely feels like the inner... Okay, hold on. Some of you have been going, and it feels kind of like men and women, but like some of the feminines more so, feels like she's been going through a lot of like inner child repression, like things that like have happened, current life and past life. And it's just like this constant like sadness or just worn out or just drained or just whatever. And Spirit's like, do something fun, like liberate yourself for yourself. Like you can just go do something fun, like take a fucking day off from healing and just go do it anyway. Like just go do something that's going to help you, like bring out your creativity. You don't have to worry about work. You don't have to worry about dealing with, emotions or other people's shit. Just like focus on you, especially if you're feeling like really out of it. Like go do something like fun. That's like healthy fun. That's something that you can put your emotions into, your creativity, like kind of get it out. And it's going to help you with healing your inner child too, as you're doing that. It's going to help you kind of release some of these sadness. Because it's some of you definitely focus on emotions too much or sadness too much or what you're feeling too much, which there's nothing wrong with that. But it's also like, are you living or are you surviving? Are you having fun or are you not having fun? And it's like, what can I do to free myself from all this constraint? And some of you is stop doing so much for other people and start doing for you. Self-love, self-care, start doing for you. We got how teachable are you, home and selling out? Definitely some conditioning being released. With this selling out card, it actually feels like some inner child conditioning being released right now. And you're learning something else. You're learning what home actually is. Home is within yourself, but you're learning what that feels like and how different it is. Like it feels like some spiritual lessons. Some of you it's emotional. Some of you it's actual physical stuff going on. But it feels like you're going through lessons to help you see like areas where you weren't standing up for who you are, where you were kind of doing things to get validation, doing things to get approval from people, like even if you didn't realize you were doing it, kind of areas where you weren't really like loving yourself and you're choosing other people, you're emotionally sticking up for other people instead of you, things like that. Some of you, this just feels like sadness. I'm going to be honest, like just very lost and very fucking sad for a group of you. It doesn't matter if you're a woman or a man, like it just is an energy and it just feels kind of like stuck, like who the fuck am I? But you're growing and you're learning to find center within you. You're learning to be who you authentically are without all the trauma and conditioning. But it's like, you're perfectly fine where you are. Like, even if you're still in that phase where you're trying to get validation and approval, you don't need to like have this mentality of, I have to be at this certain stage to be okay, to be, you know, worthy, to be lovable. Like, you're perfect the way you are. You just keep growing and learning. Like, we just adapt. Like, you never need to get to the top of the mountain to be like at a certain place of goodness, of worthiness, of enoughness, of all that. Like, you're already all of that to begin with. So it's like, even if you're lost, even if you're stuck, like, that's okay. Like, you're still exactly where you need to be. Like, you're never behind. Like, you know, I've been giving a lot of people this message lately, and I feel like I need to share it, is like, you're never behind in any lesson that you need to be. Like, even if you quote unquote fuck up and go backwards, which a lot of people have been going backwards lately to kind of see things different or to shift things, you're not really going backwards. You're actually moving forward, because you're seeing certain things you needed to see at a deeper level, or some other like layer you didn't see, or, you know, maybe you dealt with the emotional part of it, but you didn't really deal with like a different part of it at the time. So it's like, you're going through these transitions to help you get to where you need to be. You're not ever going backwards. And I tell this because a lot of people lately have been coming to me and talking to me about relationships. Like, oh, my friend's in this shitty toxic relationship, and like, there's like, you know, manipulation, abuse, and, you know, all this shit. And it's like, okay, but they're exactly where they need to be. Like, I know from the outside, it's like, well, why would they be in this relationship? Because they're learning they're learning the lessons they need to learn. And we've all been in the shitty relationships. Most of us have all had shitty relationships. Think about that. Did you grow from it? Did you learn from it? Did you see exactly what you don't want? Did you see where you didn't stand up for yourself? Did you see where you didn't care for yourself? Did you see where you gave up your power? Did you see where you didn't love yourself? Some people need to be in them a little bit longer. Some people don't. They're learning exactly what they're learning that they need to learn. But nobody's ever going to listen to you if you're doing the same shit and you're trying to fix them. So what I try to explain to people, because I've had people ask me like, well, what if somebody doesn't listen to your advice? If you're so worried about people listening to your advice, it probably means you need to take your own advice. It probably means whatever you're wanting your friend or family or whoever to do, you're needing to do for you, and you're trying to heal your own shit through them. So my thing is, tell people if they ask you for advice, or if it's something like really important and you're like, hey, can I give you advice? And they give you permission, totally different. If they want your advice, then yeah, you can give it to them. But it's like, you gave them a message, you planted the seed. When they're ready to do it, they'll do it. If you're trying to force it or trying to control people, it's not going to help anything, like, at all. So when people ask me, like, you know, do people listen? A lot of times people listen to my advice, but I think it's because they can energetically feel that, like, if I'm telling it to you, I will do it myself, or I've already done it myself. I don't give any advice that I wouldn't do. And most of it's spiritually guided advice I give anyway. And it's like, it doesn't matter to me. I gave you what you needed to hear at the time you needed to hear it. Whenever you're ready to implement it, you're going to. It's not my responsibility. I gave you what you needed, and that's it. If you need support, I'm here. You know, you don't have to replay and give people the same advice and messages. They already heard it the first time, the second time, the third time. They're just not ready to implement it yet. So, connection, I love it. So yeah, like, if you tell them, and then it's like, take responsibility for yourself. You're not responsible for anybody else. Stop disempowering people by trying to take responsibility for them. Allow them to learn what they need to learn in the time they need to learn it. Trust and have faith in them that they'll make the right choices for themselves. That it might just take them a little bit longer to learn what they need to learn, to feel something else they need to feel. Because what you don't realize is, maybe they're healing certain traumas and they're healing certain things within themselves that, like, you don't know. So you think, oh, them being out of their relationship or them being in a different job would be so great for them. Yeah, in the long run, probably it will. But, like, you also don't know internally what they're learning. You don't know internally what they're healing. You don't know that they're not healing mother-father wounds or trauma or certain things in these shitty relationships, in these shitty jobs, that is going to empower them to step out of that at a time that they're supposed to, once something is certainly healed, once they see something clearly. So you're never behind. You're always exactly where you need to be. And when you're not, Spirit intervenes. They will, oh shit, I was supposed to take that. They will totally intervene. Okay. That card came back out. I saw the reflection card and I like shuffled it anyway. There you go. They came out on the bottom. Spiritual guidance and reflection. Whew, hold on. A lot of you guys are going, excuse me. Oof, I just had some air in there. A lot of you guys are going through guided reflections of stuff, past stuff. Like I said, some of you guys, it feels like you're going backwards, but you're not. It's help you see something differently and clearly. Some of you guys are mirroring energy. Like I told you, like all that balance energy, the masculine and feminine. Some of you guys are balancing it. Some of you guys are just having triggers come up like the last week or so and within the next week or so to help you kind of see your own awareness of stuff where maybe you blamed other people or kind of held them responsible and seeing like your own responsibility and your choices. But like spirit is guiding all of this. Like they want you to know like everything that's going on, they're guiding you to. Okay, I love this. We got understanding, foundation, divine masculine. I'm telling you, the masculines are coming out a lot in this reading. And it's not even like my intention. It's just, you know, whatever comes out. Literally what I said to you guys earlier, like the masculines are going through something. Like I told you, it feels like their root chakra, their foundation's pretty strong right now. They're going through something and they're going to come to you and talk to you and communicate with you. Trust your intuition, whatever is going on. Trust your intuition completely, whatever is going on. I would say if you don't know the difference, you can book a reading with me and I can help you understand the difference. It's like too much for me to do in a friggin' video like this to help everybody, because everybody, the way they feel it is totally different. But you're being divinely guided at this time is literally popping out to me right now with this. So if you're really unclear and you don't have understanding, give it some space, give it some time. You will. There's something you're going through to grow through and you're learning and you're going to get your answers like at the time you need it. We got humanity and trust. Oh, this definitely feels like some world event shit right now. Trust that everything's going to be okay. Try not to go into the drama and chaos of stuff. Try not to argue with people. Try not to put your energy into all this shit. Is not to say don't be empathetic or sympathetic of what people are going through, 100%, but don't overly victimize, empower. So when you're sending energy of empathy, remorse, and all these things, it's okay, but send empowerment with it. Send courage with it. Say prayers to send positive energy, empowering energy, where instead of victimizing, you're encouraging, you're empowering, you're helping these people build their strength and feel better. So it feels like that, but it also feels like people that you're around too. And this kind of feels like the message I just gave before I pulled the cards about empowering people around you, trusting that everything that's happening is happening in divine timing and it's supposed to. And instead of trying to change people, be supportive and empathetic of people. Stop trying to change them. Stop trying to change situations. Accept, surrender, trust. Like, let it be. It's all happening the way it's supposed to. It's all blossoming the way it's supposed to blossom within yourself and other people. We got strength and validation. So there you go. We're getting a lot of the same messages. It's like, this is for most people finding your own strength, but also helping empower other people to find their strength without invalidating them, without sitting there. So if like somebody's coming to you and they're like upset and there's something going on, instead of fixing them, you don't need to fix them. How can we work together as a team? Like, what can you do or what can I offer you? Obviously, depending on the situation, that I can support you, that I can guide you, that I can help you with. But like allowing them to make that choice, not telling them what they need, not invalidating their emotions. Their emotions are valid, their feelings are valid. And this is very much an inner child card, which we had, this is the third inner child card that came out in the 3 decks. My feelings are valid, my needs are valid, my desires are valid, my emotions are valid. I don't know, my desires are valid is popping out a lot. It feels, I got masculine energy at first and then I got feminine energy. The masculine felt very sad and emotional. Feeling like what he desires and wants, like he's almost invalidating himself, whereas the feminine feels more so in this very guarded masculine energy of my desires are valid and fuck this, I'm not dealing with this and this and this. Come back to center. Take the ego out of it. Take the bullshit out of it. What is it I actually desire? How do I empower myself and open myself to receive this? How can I show courage within myself? How can I show up for myself? Rather than this person did this person did this, so I'm going to be defensive, so I'm going to have my guard up. That's for the feminines. Whereas the masculines, who are in their emotions, who are invalidating themselves, everything that you desire is okay. It's okay to have these desires. It's okay to have these feelings. It's okay to have these emotions. And if somebody's not able to meet them or show up for you, you're just not in alignment with them. So how do you empower yourself and get into alignment with yourself? rather than changing who you are and lowering yourself for other people so you can have them in your life. Like, that's not okay. You should always build yourself up. If somebody can't meet, if you're up here and somebody's down here, not saying anybody's better or worse, I'm just saying energy wise, if you're up here and somebody's here, you don't lower yourself to meet them. Okay, so they can stay in your life. It's never going to work out. You're going to feel out of alignment. You're going to feel angry. You're going to be irritable. Nothing's going to work out. It's going to fucking suck, and you're going to be miserable as shit. Stay up here. Can this person match or not? If not, it sucks. It sucks. It sucks when you have people that you love and care about, you just can't have in your life. I get it. Cut a lot of people out the last year or two. So I totally fucking get that. I still miss them. I still think about them. I still send love to them. But I love myself enough to know that I cannot change people. And I love myself enough to know that just because I love them and care about them and they had a big part in my life doesn't mean that I have to keep them in my life, especially when they're hindering me in my well-being and my emotions and my, everything. So this one is definitely wanting to come out. I love this. That one. Ooh, damn, I just got so dizzy. Okay, we got full moon in Scorpio. Breathe through the tension. Last quarter moon in Cancer. Take a breather. Does your loved one? 2 cards come up that are the same. Take a breather. Breathe through the tension. Yeah. More so feels like from spirit, metaphorical, like release stress and let shit go. And definitely deep breaths, because deep breaths when you're going through shit helps you release. We got full moon in Aquarius. Be real. I love that because we got the selling out card. New moon in Pisces. Attune to the divine. New moon in Aries. Go for it. For some of you, this just feels like a very broad message, which is be you. Stop trying to be somebody else. You're never going to be anybody else, because who you are is perfect. Who you are is supposed to be who you are. Stop letting old people and old bullshit and old conditionings tell you have to be somewhere you're not. You're perfect the way the fuck you are. If some people don't like it, they're not for you. We all have different personalities. We all have different things. There are certain people that I do not vibe with because the way the fuck I am. And I'm sure they don't vibe with me the way the fuck I am. So align with people that are in alignment with you. That's just it. Like, if somebody doesn't like the way you are, then they're just not in alignment with you. And I don't mean, and let me clarify that. I don't mean like you're an asshole or a bitch to somebody and then people should just accept that. I don't mean that. I mean your personality. So like, obviously I have a certain personality type. I'm very blunt, very honest. Not for everybody. Some people don't like blunt and honesty. They don't like the vulgarity. They don't like all of that stuff. But I shouldn't change being a blunt, honest person because people don't like it. It's just maybe you need somebody who's a little bit softer, who, is a little bit more passive with stuff. Nothing wrong with that. But it's like I shouldn't have to change who I am because of that. I try not to be disrespectful, obviously, to people, but you understand my point. It's just like I'm never not going to be real. I'm never not going to say how I feel about stuff. And as long as my whole feeling on this, and I've talked to a lot of people about this too, is as long as you say something with good intentions and respect. And I don't mean you pushing your opinion on people. I don't mean you giving advice that's unsolicited. I mean just you generally. If somebody doesn't like that or somebody can't handle that, that's their responsibility. You cannot filter everything that you say of who you actually are to appease everybody. You're never going to appease everybody. And you could say something with the best, purest intentions in the most nice way possible, and somebody can still find fault in it. So it is what it is. That's what I mean. Don't change who you are. The right people will always love you who you are. And I don't mean, we all have toxic bullshit behaviors and dysfunctional shit. So I don't mean that. Like that type of shit. Somebody's like, hey, you're disrespectful with this or whatever. Like if you are, then obviously change it. I'm not talking about that. With attune to the divine and go for it. Trust your fucking intuition. This message keeps coming up a lot. Trust your intuition. Some of you guys, it's like you don't have the go ahead right now for something that's about to come. But when it comes, Spirit's going to open and I keep saying 44 and we're at 44 minutes. Like something is going to open for you. Go for it. Stop being afraid. Like I could see this is you and this is we'll say the finish line. Let me do it like this. I don't know. Whatever. And it's like you're back here and you're kind of hiding out. Go for it. Spirit's guiding it. Go for it. Something's good. There's some good shifts that are changing bring in some big changes in a good way. You might not be feeling it right now, you might not be seeing it right now, but it is actually changing for your good. And one of the perspectives I've kind of had to change too was when I'm going through all this chaos and all this emotions and all this heaviness and really not having guidance or intuition, except when I'm supposed to, is trusting all of it's happening for my highest good and actually aligning me to where I need to be and just surrendering and letting it go, because certain things are out of your control. So it's like, how do I live in the present moment? How do I accept things the way they are? What is in my control and what's not? So like if I'm feeling like complete shit and like whatever, I can go do something fun for myself. I can go take care of myself. I can go do all that. Doesn't necessarily change the physical symptoms or the energy or the chaos or all that. No. But I can help myself to feel better while still accepting that this is not in my control. This is not something I like, but yeah, it's probably helping me. It's probably doing something good for me. And kind of doing that shifts your perspective a little bit to not be so like sad or like everything's happening to me, the world's falling apart and all this heaviness, because a lot of us have been dealing with a lot of heaviness. Especially I know some people have been in the same cycle as me, like when we like really spiritually awakened like 4 years ago. It's been a lot. It's been like we're going through this cycle and then that ends, and we're going through another cycle and that ends in this, but it's like all a giant cycle that actually is going to connect. We're going to see within the next few months really soon where all this actually connects to and brings us to this like giant manifestation that is like bigger than we even know what it is. So anyway, I hope that this helped you guys, and I'm wishing you so much love and light.